Marco, thanks for joining us. I was going to start by mentioning how you settled and enjoying living in London, but the look of the surroundings here, things like this must help.
Yes, help, but it's not the main thing, to be honest. You know that some places you have a lot of Portuguese people around, but I have to be honest, it's not the main thing. The main thing is to try to, you cannot forget where you come from, but the main thing for me and my staff is always to adapt for the country that you are working, and it's been a long time already, since 2017, and you are already adapted. Different cities we have been working so far, and of course London, I have to say that is the busiest one. You know, completely different than the others. Liverpool, Hull, and even North London when I was in Watford as well. But it's been easy because something that we have is really capacity to adapt quick, and as I said, the main thing is to adapt quick for the culture of the country first, or the club after, and after to go on, to move on from that situation. Of course, if you have some places where you can see some Portuguese people, better, but it's not the main thing.
Yeah, you've been at Fulham nearly for 3 years now. Yeah. Very successful, in my opinion. Why has it worked so well?
Okay. Many reasons, of course, many reasons. Of course, we have been doing very good things as well. I remember first time we arrived in the football club was after a really tough season for Fulham Football Club. When you have one season, when you just won, a club just won 5 games, it's really tough. You expect the mood. We knew even in Championship, Fulham the seasons before that is being always a contender to be promoted, of course, but we knew that from the first moment to try to have a straight impact first, of course, in the players, they are one thing, but in everybody around, all the staffs. And that first season was crucial in my opinion. Not because we were promoted, because I repeat, Fulham is normal, is a contender when it's there, but the way we did it. First because it was the first target was clear to do it, but as a champion to win the title is something that Fulham didn't do just once he did before, and of course, and after the way they play, we knew that we have to have a straight connection with the fans in that moment, and was one of the reasons why the season was so successful. You got the promotion, we got the title, and the connection between the players and the fans start to rebuild again. That was the first step, and of course, last season was an incredible one for the club, and to be able to have the recognition this club as a Premier League club is, in my opinion, is where the club belongs, is really important. Why? It's a mix of many things. Of course, you have to do well the things. You have to have a group of players that you make them to bolt in your ideas, to convince them that is the way you are going to do it, is the way you are going to play, is the way you are going to make you better players at the end. But the most important thing is going to be the way that you are going to be successful. You are going to win football matches. And the players to be fair enough with them. They have been onto the idea as well, always with the right mindset to learn, to improve. And they know the ambition that is behind us, behind the staff, what we want every single day, sometimes really on them. But at the end, it's paying off for us, and we have been successful.
You mentioned previous clubs, Hull, Watford, Everton. How important was it for you personally to have stability now?
It's really important. I think for all the managers, I think it's something that we are searching for. When you go, and if you see, apart from Hull, of course, because it was in the middle of the season, was in January, of course, the club in a difficult position in that moment was a clear ambition after to work in Portugal, of course, and after one season in Greece, was a clear ambition for me to come to Premier League and to be here. And in that period now is different, but in that period I really remember that I was just the third Portuguese coach to join Premier League in that moment. Was José, the main one, probably the one that opened the doors for most of the Portuguese coaches abroad. But after you won the Europa League and Champions League with the FC Porto and come straight away for the top. And after was André Villas-Boas as well that won the Europa League and come to Chelsea as well.
Did you feel pressure following them?
Not pressure, no. It was clear an ambition, and we all knew that in that moment was really tough it's difficult for me to say why, but it was really difficult for the Portuguese managers to come from Portugal direct to England. You just have that two good examples. And I came in the middle of the season, difficult situation for Hull. and was the only club where I didn't sign long-term contract, because if you see in Watford was a 2 years contract, in Everton even more, was three years contract as well, and of course was the same at Fulham with 3 years contract as well. Of course, your main reason and why you do this is not just to be in contract, it's because your idea is to remain in the football club, to build something, to create something, and after to build and to create something, and to, if you can leave a legacy inside the football club, much better. It's not easy, but of course it's something that you search always for. Okay, Al was, as I said, a short period. Okay, unfortunately, we had an amazing impact in that football club, a great relationship still with the football club, with the fans as well. And Watford, slightly different in Everton, of course, was an idea to have an impact. I think we really have that first season in one moment that the club was changing, even the approach in the market, try to refresh a little bit the squad after big names playing in that football club like Leighton Baines, Jagielka, all that players. Coleman still there as well, and try to refresh a little bit and build. First season really good. Second season we had not a good spell, and of course the people that they are in charge, they have to decide to take decisions. But of course when the time is there for us to work, of course we know that in football the results, they speak louder. We all know that. Yep. But when we have the time to build, because normally we have always a very good impact in the football clubs. And of course it's a matter of time to build. Even if you know now in modern football, the results are always there on the top of everything. But Fulham, of course, as I said, great and successful season, the first one. The second even better. And of course, from that moment, it's a matter of to try to keep improving. And of course, the conditions are there for us to work. It's not an easy task. Probably not, right? Everyone now is saying that it's not an easy task, as you know, probably from your time.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Obviously, you come into Fulham, and it seems very settled now. Probably the most settled it's been for a long time. In previous years, relegation, promotion, it seemed very stable now. How challenging has that been? Because in the last 3 seasons, promotion, retained Premier League status, retained it again. Obviously, the remit, I'm sure, for you was to have Fulham again as established Premier League team. How challenging has that been in the 3 years?
It's been a great one, difficult one, I have to say. Of course, when you do like we did in Championship, and okay, we did very well in the market with not big amount of money, as you know, and Fulham story talks always about it. But we did well in the market to maintain probably 60-70% of the squad that was in Championship, and most of them they were really important last season. Is a big challenge for us. But the main one for us is to don't change most nothing the way we did in the Championship. Okay, that is the idea. If in one season we convince these football players that this is our idea, now because we are here, we are not going to change. Was a big challenge, but the players, they understood why we are not going to change. Of course, adapt some things. Of course, try to bring some Premier League experience, try to bring some quality players, all that stuff. But about the major idea, we haven't changed anything. And this was the first impact that we have in the players in the last season. Okay, we go in the same idea, and it's going to be that philosophy that is going to get results for us. But answer direct to you, of course, is a big one. Last season, in my opinion, was really crucial for Fulham to remain in Premier League. Crucial, of course, the way we did it, playing good football, finished top half of the table is unbelievable for us achievement. And this season, in my opinion, was even bigger. I said to you before, we start, of course, the noise. Last summer, probably we were and the only team that sold one of your main players. Okay, we're main strikers, of course. Brighton sold some players, but that main striker that everyone talks that is really difficult to replace. We sold our main striker. The noise around some players to leave as well. And the this season was really a challenging one, and be able to get the recognition as a Premier League club and something that is stable right now in Premier League is really important. But I have to say to you that right now is a moment that we should not stand still and go forward.
You said about selling the main striker, Mitrovic. That stigma, that noise seemed to stay around for quite a while this season. You had to. It seems as though now no one talks about it. You know, you've overcome that hurdle. How difficult was that? Because every season, every interview, and even I in before, how was it been living without, you know, the main striker, the players when they look up and they put crosses in, he's not there. It seems now life without Mitrovic this is the new chapter and it's fine.
No, it was a big challenge. It was difficult, I have to say, because he was here already, but I think we really squeezed Mitro in the maximum we could, because he had his best moments with Fulham Football Club, shared with us, 44 or 46 goals in Championship, but we able last season score 14 goals just in 24 games that he played was really good. And of course, for the fans, the impact when he left the club, that in our fans, in everybody as well. Sometimes I compare. I don't like to talk about the other clubs, but for example, see Brentford, that they were without Tony 6 months, and the impact that a player like him can have in a football club, or like us, or other clubs that they lose main strikers is always difficult. Of course, we were able to rebuild with the players that we were, because when we signed Raul Jimenez, for example, we signed him to have him in the squad with Mitro, not to replace Mitro. Yeah. At the end, everybody thought that was to replace Mitro, and it wasn't. The idea was to have him and to have Mitro in the squad plus one young. We talk about Rodrigo as well. The reality that he went, for different reasons, we were not able to replace him directly. And I took a decision at that moment, financial point of view, or because he's really late in the market, some players, they don't want to come, or whatever, for many different reasons. Let's stick with the players that we have, the 3 strikers that we have, and you have to work with them. You have to try to recover the confidence in Raul Jimenez, to put him to score goals again, because he was not scoring the last, 9 or 10 months before that. And let's work with the others. Let's final to try to get the best from Rodrigo Muniz. And it was difficult in the beginning, because I have to say that all that questions about the striker position come as well, because in the beginning of the season, I believe that you are not creating enough for the strikers. I think the beginning of the season, we're not creating. And if you don't provide for a striker, it's difficult for him to score goals to you. And probably the noise was even bigger, because you were not creating enough, and the scores, they were not able to score. But it was a work that we did inside. We kept the confidence in Raul. There was Carlos here as well, Carlos Vinicius, and in Rodrigo as well. And at the end, now it's paying off, and we are really pleased for it.
Yeah. So obviously, the strikers there, you're saying the spotlight is on them because they're not scoring, but you're looking outside of that, saying, well, they're not scoring because there's an issue because of the service, and you've worked.
It was one of the reasons. Of course, it's not the only reason, because we all know Mitro, and Mitro in some moments just 2 balls in the box, he's able to probably to score a goal. He has this capacity as well, but I have to see much more deeper. I don't see just we are not scoring. I have to first to see the reasons why, and to find solutions for it. And I repeated many weeks during the beginning of the season that we have not been scoring with our strikers, and Raul hasn't scored, I don't know, but probably the first 7-8 games of the season. Rodrigo the same. Carlos scored one or 2 goals. But I wanted to analyze and to see deeper on that, and I recognize that we were not creating enough for them, and it's probably making the life of them more difficult. It's difficult to replace a player like Mitro. Imagine if you not provide enough for them. And of course, was the work that we did with all our squad, and that I think after October, November, we start to provide much better, to play better. I have to say that we improve really in our performance point of view, and of course the life for the strikers. Not that come easier, but we gave them more solutions for them to pop up.
Yeah. And looking forward, Fulham now and in the short-term future, what can Fulham achieve?
As I said before, I think it's been successful one. Probably this season, the people are not speaking so much about us like last season. I understand last season we were one of the biggest surprises, the way we finished top half, but not just because we finished there, the way we did it. Yeah. I have to say that in some moments of this season, our football is being even better. Yeah. We have some very, very good weeks. We have some lack of consistency, that type of performance as well, because at the end, consistency is everyone is searching for that. All the clubs, they want the same. And in Premier League, because it's so competitive, and in my opinion, is the best but the most difficult one, apart from Champions League, in my opinion. Of course, it's difficult to get that consistency week out. But now what is going to be the next step, of course, is something that we have been talking about. Always to try to improve. Is a cliche in football, but is the reality. Of course, we are talking with the board, some meetings already, starting the beginning of the year as well, 2024, to see what we are capable to do in terms of budget. Because in my opinion, you cannot stand still. Because in Premier League, if you stand still, or if you think that, okay, what we have been doing is enough, we are going to have problems. Definitely.
I mean, that's amazing insight. So recruitment going forward has already started for next season. So when you turn the year, so January 24, you're already in discussions with upstairs about budgets, possible targets, players that could leave, players that are coming.
I'm 100% sure. Since I can tell you that it was a coincidence, but this afternoon I had a meeting again with Alistair about some situations. Of course, next week probably the Werner too. But of course, everything started there. December, January, we started to prepare everything, and the positions and some things that could going to happen in our football club, in our squad. What we think right now is the same idea that we had last January that we are going to need.
Yeah. Fulham won't have the biggest budget in the Premier League. Obviously, we know that. Where does the recruitment go? Where are the pool of players that Fulham will look for? Because you have to be so proactive now, very clever, because not everyone's got the high money to go and get the best stars in the world. You have to go and take some hidden gems.
Yes, and this is being more competitive. You are in a competition that's usually tough on the pitch, but it has become even tougher off the pitch as well, because most of the clubs, they have good structures, they work well in the scout departments, in recruitment department as well, and of course, as you said, we have to be really proactive if you want to anticipate some of the others. Yeah. We have to be creative. Probably in clubs like Fulham Football Club, you have to be even more, because you have to see deeper, sometimes to believe in some players that probably have not the best years as well. You have to think that they can be successful in your football club. You have to believe in our capacity as a staff to make them better and to make them to go again for the same level. And all these things are really important. Recruitment, scout department, but of course your capacity to look for some players that you think that they can fit really well in your system and your philosophy as a club.
And what about players leaving? I've got to mention Willian and Tosin, because is there a plan now that there's a chance that they could leave and they need replacing? Or you ideally, as a manager, as a head coach, you want to keep your best players and build around that and keep progressing the squad. But there's elements that these are going to go. Yes,
I would like. If you ask me, of course, our main players. If you ask me, of course, should be a priority for us to try to keep them, and from that to improve from that core of players that we have. Okay, we have now 4 players in the end of contract. Okay, Marek Hodak, okay, Kenny Teti, Bobby Reed, and Tosin, as you know, plus Willian. 5 in this case. Okay, Tosin is being a lot of noise around him. I am being honest. Of course, it's being really difficult for us to renew him. Probably in the end of the season, he's going to leave the club. I don't want to give 100% sure, because I will prefer that Tosin is going to announce when he thinks that he can announce official what is your decision. But probably is what is going to happen. About all the others, of course, we have been in conversations with them. Going direct to Willian, that you asked me about him. We are going to do the same that we did last season. Last season, he had a great impact in our football club. Really pleased to get him in his best level. We convinced him to come after a tough period for him in Brazil. He came back to London with his family, and of course, he helped the club. I think we all help him to go for his best level again. And we are going to do this season the same. End of the season, last season, we sat together. We analyze the season, and after we take decisions, it's going to be the same. In 2 weeks after Luton game, I'm going to sit with him. We go, or in the club, or we go for a dinner, whatever. We are going to sit. We are going to analyze everything. He knows that we would like to have him again. It's going to be his decision as well, and let's see what he's going to decide after our conversation.
You said about being proactive in this football club. You're judged season on season and building this football club season on season. How close are we to seeing your own vision, your stamp at this football club?
I think during these 3 seasons we have been seeing, of course, if you ask me that is everything perfect, of course, all the managers, they want more. I would like to be more competitive in the market, to have, as you said, of course, the budget of Fulham. Before we get promotion or got promotion, of course, is financial point of view, Fulham was not in the best position. Now with the situation of financial fair play going tighter and tighter with the clubs is getting more difficult. I'm not saying that, okay, you just are going to see my vision if I got all the budget behind me. Yeah. It's not what I'm saying, because sometimes if you have all the budget behind you, probably can do more mistakes than if you have to be more careful. But I think we have to have the right balance in everything. I think we have been doing the right steps to see probably more. Of course, we need to improve the squad. Our football players, they have been incredible, I have to say. Fantastic group of players, but if you can add quality, I think step by step you can see more statements about our vision in the club, because it's not just on the pitch. Of course, we all see, or you see on the pitch, but off the pitch we have been improving a lot the club. I think the club is by far much better prepared for the next steps right now than 2 years ago.
And yourself, I know it's hard to give yourself satisfaction, but you're a very ambitious head coach, manager. You set very high standards. For me, you've been a success since you've come in at Fulham. How pleased are you with the job that you've done so far?
I'm really pleased. Sometimes, because I'm always really honest when I analyze games with the press, with the media, and sometimes I cannot hide my frustration or something like that. But being honest with the players, the last almost 3 seasons, they have been incredible for the football club, for all of us. And the main thing for me really is to see the feeling of the fans, because at the end we are all professional, but we all work for the fans. And when you see them with this great connection between players and the fans, they recognize the players, they do everything. They in some moments they make them with really to have good weekends and happy weekends as well. For me, is the main thing. And we have to recognize that we want always more. I would like to be higher on the table right now, but analyzing calm and see all the season, see all the press season that we had, all that noise last summer, how it was difficult for us sometimes to rebuild ourselves, what we are with the players that we have inside, and not going to the market, because normal, if you sell your main striker almost £50 million, you should go to buy another one, and we are able to build from the players that we have inside our club. All that stuff, they are good examples. All the players, they have been incredible in work rate, in ambition, right mindset to come every single time as well. And of course, I have to be really pleased, and I know that our fans, they are as well. Everyone wants more wins. Everyone wants to be in a different position at the table, but analyzing deeply and to be realistic is being incredible work from the players. Definitely.
Well, from someone that's been associated with the club and played for this great football club, I hope you stay for many seasons to come. I know the players really respect you and enjoy you. The fans love you. There's certainly success down the line. So
thank you.
Best
of
luck for the weekend, and thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you.